Hello and welcome to Market Insights. I am Lavina Emma. Today we are exploring how artificial intelligence is revolutionizing logistics. Now, from supply chain optimization to the last mile delivery, artificial intelligence is driving efficiency and transforming the way goods move. Now, in today's fast-paced, globalized world, the efficiency of supply chains is more critical than ever. Late deliveries, stockouts, excessive transportation costs can spell disaster for businesses, and that's where artificial intelligence comes in. It's going to revolutionize the way we move our goods and services. And considering here in Nigeria, where things are really expensive, we're looking for a cheaper and a faster way to go about moving our goods and services. So now let's imagine a world where trucks know the fastest routes, avoiding traffic and construction delays, where warehouses automatically restock shelves based on real-time demand, and where delivery drones can navigate complex urban environments to deliver packages directly to your doorstep. Now that will be absolutely amazing, particularly right here in Lagos State. I mean, we've had issues every now and then. Like, for example, when I am making an order, I've had issues with delivery drivers who find it difficult to locate where I'm staying, I have to keep describing and describing before they eventually locate and bring the package directly to my doorstep. But with artificial intelligence, if all these issues can be solved, that would be really good. And these are just a few examples of how AI is going to transform the logistics industry. But it's not just about technology alone. AI is also helping to make businesses make smarter decisions. And this is done by analyzing vast amounts of data. AI can predict future trends based on how it has been interacting with the consumer, identify potential disruptions, and optimize operations for maximum efficiency. Now, what does this mean? Definitely, we're going to see companies that can reduce costs, improve customer satisfaction, and gain a competitive edge. And that's very key, especially as you know, the business world is very competitive. So as the logistics industry faces increasing pressure to reduce costs, improve speed, and enhance customer experience, AI offers a game-changing solution. Now, this morning, we will discuss AI-powered predictive analytics for demand forecasting and capacity planning, machine learning algorithms for optimizing routes and reducing transit times, autonomous vehicles and drones for streamlined last-mile delivery. Expert Insights, we have a guest that will be joining us virtually to discuss these issues on AI and how we can intertwine them, and also let it be a seamless transaction or a seamless blend with the logistics infrastructure. Now, strategies for implementing AI-driven logistics solutions, and last but not least, the role of data quality and standardization in AI-driven logistics, and finally, the future. What does the future hold with AI applications in logistics, from blockchain to the Internet of Things? Now, some companies in Europe and North America are already using drone delivery and also AI-powered container optimization. Now, that's really key because we usually use these containers to move in the shipping industry to move goods from one country to another. So industry leaders are already harnessing AI's potentials. So don't miss this insightful discussion on leveraging AI to drive efficient logistics and stay ahead of the competition. So do stay tuned. Thank you for watching the program. So this morning we have a guest that has joined us virtually to discuss how AI can drive efficient logistics. So our guest this morning is Emmanuel Odah. Oh, I hope I pronounced that name correctly, Emmanuel Odah. He's the founder of Precision Automation Incorporated. It's a software development company that develops cutting-edge software for the forex industry. He's very passionate about empowering youths with digital skills that can transform their lives. To this effect, he founded an NGO an NGO called Skillify Digital. And this NGO empowers people with free digital skills globally. And it has also empowered over 10,000 people in web design, digital marketing, Amazon, and Kindle publishing. So that is very impressive. Welcome to Market Insights, Emmanuel Odah.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm glad you could join us this morning on the program. It's great you're here with us, and very impressive the fact that you're training people in web design and also empowering more people, because we need more NGOs to do things like this. I just want to congratulate you on that. That's really good. Now, we're discussing how to use artificial intelligence for efficient logistics and how this will boost our logistics industry. But before we get right into that, let's first of all start with us here in Nigeria, our logistics and delivery services. Now, what kind of challenges does our logistics industry face, and how can artificial intelligence solve these challenges?
Okay, so thank you so much for having me. First and foremost, delivery logistics are such a vital part of, progress in a nation, in the world today. Amazon's business did not grow to where it is today because of just the fact that they have goods and services. Anybody can have goods and services, but they were able to grow to where they are today because they focus on giving convenience to the end consumer. So their ability to deliver very, very quickly, deliver on time, get the things to you in at your doorstep and do it fast is why it's how they separated themselves from the entire bunch. Now in Nigeria today, you find that you can hardly order a product and get it early. Okay. You order products, the minimum delivery time is 3 days, and sometimes they promise you 3 days, they end up doing 5 days, 6 days, 7 days. So a lot of things are wrong with our logistics. We can't get products as fast as we want and all that. And that has a way of just influencing, the consumer aspect of things. If delivery was faster, there are people who mind paying premium. It improves economic growth, the company can grow faster, and a lot of other things. Like you were talking about, ordering products and people getting missing, you have to direct them. A lot of things that you can't hear about in more advanced nations. So some of these things have, come together to cause one or two hitches in the whole logistic and delivery system, and it can be better. It can be better.
Okay, now how can artificial intelligence improve our logistics industry here in Nigeria?
So artificial intelligence can help improve because when it comes to logistics, one of the major parts of logistics is actually the processes. So when you come on a website like Amazon or you come on a platform to purchase, artificial intelligence is already at work. Okay, it is trying to predict your behavior, checking the products you're clicking on. It's trying to create a pattern, create a map of the kind of products you would be interested in when you make your first purchase as you are returning to the website. They tend to start giving you options that tend to complement what you wanted to purchase. So AI doesn't even just start work at the logistics and delivery stage. It starts from when you visit the platform. It's studying your behavior. You come on, let's make an example with one of the popular platforms we have in Nigeria, Jumia. You come on Jumia, you search for a particular product. You find that
So can we not mention brand names? You can just go ahead and state your points without mentioning any brand name.
Okay, perfect. So when you come on the platform, you find a product that you are interested in. You find that when you go on the social media websites, you find that those products begin to follow you. That's already artificial intelligence, learning your behavioral pattern, getting your digital footprint so that they can serve you better. Now, when you pick a product, processes involve once the order is sent in, people begin to take these orders, they pass it down to the people who have to get those products, package it, and all of those things. Now artificial intelligence driven systems allow that when these things are sent in, the AI already knows the orders that are coming in minute by minute, hour by hour, and it's more effective than human beings. So it tends to organize those products. I saw one of the work Samsung is doing in Netherlands. Okay, in AI. Okay, yeah, the brand thing. So I saw one of the works a major technology company is doing in Netherlands that has to do with logistic technology, and everything is automated from receiving the orders, from going to put these things, forklifts that are attending to assembling these things, bringing the products out, and everything is automated, and these things work faster than humans. Yes, it has the impact of taking jobs from human beings, but that's the cost of technological advancement. And no matter how good AI is, it has to be operated. So what we can do as people is to ensure we position ourselves so that these things don't take our jobs. We are prepared, to handle them and retain these job processes. So yes, AI helps to ensure that logistic processes are faster and better, and that's the major function.
Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, thank you for that, Emmanuel. Yes, we've discussed this on the program in the past about how, yes, we as people need to actually improve our skills. And thankfully, you also do that with your NGO to ensure that we can actually use this artificial intelligence as a tool to help us get what we need to do faster and smarter. Now, that being
Mm.
said, let's focus first of all on Nigeria, our Nigerian logistics and delivery services. Now, what challenges will may be involved in implementing artificial intelligence in logistics in Nigeria?
Okay, I would say primarily cost. Let's start with cost, right? Cost of acquiring some of these artificial intelligence driven technologies and tools. They can be pretty expensive to acquire. And sometimes businesses, normal businesses might not see it as a cost. There are something they should spend much needed revenue on. That's the first thing. Secondly is adjustment to new trends, new technology, new software. You find that a lot of people, especially people who are occupying positions that this AI might threaten, would do all in their path to ensure that this kind of things are not brought in, because when these things come in, they tend to take the jobs. They tend to allow companies retrench, because these things tend to do the work better and faster. Why should the company continue spending money on salaries if they can get a tool that gets the job done faster? So you see cost, you see the people factor, people adjusting to these technologies. And also when it comes to processes, not just processes, now delivery, we have issues like the poor road conditions, the poor mapping of the state, a lot of issues. There are certain places, if you put your location and say deliver to these places, even if they promise you 3 days delivery, it will take 6 days because of unforeseen factors and the fact that accessing those routes are not as easy as it looks. So I would mention those three for now.
Okay. So now I'm looking at you mentioned yes, thank you for mentioning those three. And what kind of solutions would you recommend to solve these three issues?
Okay, so for the first one, which is cost, one of the things I do is there are a lot of consulting, AI consulting people and all of that are available. One of the things to do is search for, you know, alternatives that might meet your cost threshold. Search for alternatives that might meet your cost threshold so you can start these processes. Get things, be innovative, be innovative, be innovative. There are tools that might be too expensive to acquire, but there are processes that can come in and help to make, if companies focused on delivering faster, if they focused on navigating some of the challenges that are in places. We find that delivery bikes are available everywhere now because of some of the access routes that cars might not be able to access. We need to be innovative. That's one major way we can get to solve some of these issues. Secondly, when it comes to the road conditions in some of the places and accesses to some of the places, it goes to say that the government is tasked with that responsibility to ensure that the road networks are as good as can be, because there's development that can never happen as long as channels, accesses, routes are not at the standard they should be. It's a key performance indicator for development. So it has to be worked upon. And then when it comes to staff, standing in the way of that progress, we need to train them and empower them so that they don't feel intimidated by the technological advancement, because whether we are ready or not, this technological advancement is happening and is coming. Yeah, so tools like maps and all that also help, but it's a whole lot. It has to take deliberate, intentional efforts to happen, which I don't really see a lot in when a lot of our logistics in the country. So the will needs to be worked upon. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that, Emmanuel. Okay, let's talk about this. The fact that these, for example, our logistics drivers, particularly those who use the bikes, a lot of customers have complained about the issue of these people not being able to, like, for example, the regular maps on your phone. That's the Google Maps that you can easily access to move from one point to the other. Some of them find it very difficult to understand the map. So, what would you recommend these delivery companies to do in when it comes to improving on, first of all, the logistics drivers before we start talking about how they can work with AI? So, in terms of map reading, for example.
Okay, so I will definitely suggest a lot of training, a lot of updating goes into these people. They are employees of the organization, they are making money for the company every day. It goes to say that they need to be educated and trained. It doesn't matter if they are not heavily literate, they can learn. It can be done in their language, in a language they understand, and all of that. They can be trained to really understand this. There's also the challenge that some of these maps tend to glitch at times. So they can take you to uh, they can take you the opposite direction of where you want to go. That is truly a possibility, and it happens. Yeah, it happens. So reminds me of something a friend was telling me one of the times. He was going somewhere, put on the map, and the map took him to somewhere kind of like a bush, and there was a ditch in front, and they kept telling him go forward. So he was like, go forward, go forward to where the ditch. So yes, this can happen. So they need to be trained on how to use these maps and what to do in emergency situations like that. They need to be able to call clients or call the company so that the company can reach out to clients and apologize, and talk to them so that people have a more receptive attitude towards them. And finally, I would suggest also that we don't rely only on what is available map wise. We can also build these things. We can work on these things, and we are here. So sometimes some of these routes, some of these things, I've not seen somebody come up with an innovative solution for locations. Okay, but we can because we are here. We are in this. We are in Nigeria, so we tend to know these things better than even people that are out there. So we need to sit down and really innovate. Okay, really innovate and think, how can we make this thing better? What is the alternative if the map fails us? Yeah, so I would suggest that.
Okay, okay, those are very key issues to look at. Okay, what we need to be more creative. But if I may also add, there are Nigerians who have created maps that in our own Nigerian English, if I'm allowed to say that, for people to understand. I guess it just needs more awareness amongst the populace so that they'll be more aware of these applications. Now, that
Hmm.
being said, you've talked about the predictive analytics of artificial intelligence, like you mentioned, if you're on a website trying to do some home shopping and if you had been there in the past, the AI recognizes and then it puts those items that you might like to see again. So that being said, now how can AI powered predictive analytics improve demand for forecasting accuracy?
Okay. It's like you said, that's the world we are in. Every social media you visit now, anything you do online, you are always leaving digital footprints, whether you agree or not. You are always doing that. And every day, every time, AI gets better at predicting what you'd want, what you do, the activities and what you do. Recently, we began to discover that sometimes even when you are speaking, because I'd be with my friends and we are discussing something, and I go online and bam, that stuff is there. And I'm like, there's no way these people didn't listen to what I was saying. It's not possible because I did search for this stuff. We only spoke about it. And we would have noticed that these things happen. Okay. It's all artificial intelligence. It's all artificial intelligence. And Nigerians never read the, what do they call it now? The privacy policy and terms. Yeah, we don't read that thing. We just scroll to the bottom and accept it. Okay. So that happens. Now, considering that predictive analysis comes from data acquisition, okay, we find that the more data that systems, platforms collect on us, cookies that are placed, the better it becomes at predicting. You find that the more you relate with someone, the better you can predict their behavioral pattern. They tell you, this is what somebody did, and you can say with your whole chest that this person did not do this because you know the person. So that's the same thing. They keep collecting bite-sized data, they keep collecting data continuously, and the systems keep learning. And the more they do that, the more they are positioned to predict. So that is why AI keeps getting better, because it's not stopped at the level it was built. That is why machine learning is integrated, because machine learning is different from AI. It's a part of AI, but it's different. Machine learning is empowering the AI to learn as it continues to operate. So it keeps getting information, it begins to think like a human. That's the purpose of machine learning, helping these systems to learn how to behave like humans and do like and so you find that time keeps making them progress better. So predictive analysis will just keep getting better because they are collecting more data as the day goes by.
Okay, well said. Thank you for that, Emmanuel. Now, looking at this supply chain when it comes to, like I mentioned, from the warehouses to the stores, and also getting these packages right down to your doorstep. That's for the final consumer. Now, how can logistics companies use artificial intelligence to anticipate and mitigate supply chain disruptions?
Okay, so it's not news. You were mentioning it earlier that some logistic companies are already leveraging things like supply drones. Some logistic companies are also using smart AI-driven carts that help them reduce cost, of vans just running continuously. These carts are AI powered, and they are special in the sense that they might carry a lot of tools, but just on the handle, the person pulling it does not need to apply strength. Okay, he just needs to tilt, do this, and that system can automatically follow the person. So delivery is being done, energy is being saved, these things are electrical, fuel is not being consumed, and they can cover blocks and all of that. Innovation keeps coming in, delivery systems keep coming in that are AI powered. Sealing, a lot of jobs are gone, honestly, in very big delivery companies. Okay. So, like I said, when it comes to delivery, smart tools are coming in, drones are coming in, tools are coming in, and they will only get better. They will only get better. Imagine a drone given a location, and the drone can find its way there, drop your tools, drop your goods in front of your house, and then leave. All these things we are saying about bad roads is thrown into the gutters because the air is not bad. So we've automatically eliminated the challenge of roads. So these things are happening, these things are coming, and every day marks the progress of these things happening. So that's one way to really navigate it. That's one way to really navigate it.
That's actually a very good way to navigate it. But now looking at the Nigerian situation with everything in this country, now do you think we are ready in this country for this kind of technology, using artificial intelligence, using the drones in the way of as to package straight from the warehouse down to your doorstep? Do we have the infrastructure for this in this country? And if we don't, what would you advise our government and also these logistics companies to do?
Okay. That's such an important question. And my my singular response to that is, are we ready? The truth is we are. However, okay, as much as we are, there is a process to these things. It doesn't just happen. So we have a lot of, I'd say, mixed feelings towards these things. Like I said, you'd enter an organization and you would be shocked at the kind of resistance you'd face if you wanted to bring in this innovation. Okay, that's a major factor. The resistance most times is high. People prefer to continue with processes they are comfortable with. But as a nation, we can truly determine that the Nigerian nation is an intelligent nation. You find that a healthy percentage of doctors, I was seeing that statistics, healthy percentage of health workers in some of these countries, the United States, the United Kingdom, you find that are Nigerians. Are Nigerians. So it's a testament to the kind of intelligence that is here. And if people are given the proper training, the proper orientation, we can do this. We are running drone power technologies. We are doing video shoots with them and all that. It's not as hard as it looks, but it just requires proper orientation and training. And when training comes in and orientation comes in, we can now go into the process of empowering. When I was going to start out in web design, I entered into this line many years back. When I was going to start out, I always thought it was such a mammoth thing, a mammoth task to do. Now in seminars, we have situations where we are doing speed building and we are building websites in 5 minutes in front of a crowd, and they are like, my God, we didn't even think this was possible. So the truth is, if we don't open ourselves up to what is possible, we cannot know and we cannot do it. So yes, as a nation, I feel like we are ready because we are already doing things that are more complicated. But are we open to the innovation? Are we ready to take on the task? I'd say not yet. Not yet, based on the reception. And for the government, they have a huge role to play. They have a huge role to play. And that role is they need to be open to these things. They need to make programs available to teach people, open people's eyes to this progress. That's why Africa is always looked down upon, because progress is happening. People are in first world and they are 20 years ahead. And we are still doing manual processes that just keep us behind.
Now let's talk about route optimization with artificial intelligence. So now how can this AI algorithms what AI algorithms are most effective for optimizing logistic routes?
Okay, so like we said earlier, AI works with data. It's not automatic. It works with data. And for route optimization, I'd say that, in a well-planned society, access to certain locations are not singular, right? There are many ways to get there. So when artificial intelligence helps you predict areas that are going to have traffic issues, certain times that, those areas are freer, easier to access and all of that, it helps to gather all of that data and help your delivery, the delivery process be more seamless. Okay. So say evenings, right? 5 p.m., 6 p.m., there's a lot of traffic. Mornings, there's a lot of traffic. As a delivery company, processes can be optimized using the data gathered from this artificial intelligence to help so that, things are those times when traffic is high, more of the processes for delivery are attended to. And then times when the routes are clearer and better, say 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., deliveries are going out, right? So that we're not stuck up in traffic, we're not leaving early in the morning, and processes are taking longer. So this is one way, right, that routes can be optimized and deliveries can be better. Sometimes there's no choice, there's no option, especially in places where access routes are not as so we can't put all of the hope on AI, right? Because sometimes it's not the AI's fault. But this is one way it can be optimized. We check, we'll find that data is gathered, when is the best time to access these locations, when is traffic heavier on these locations, and then we tend to use that data to deliver more seamlessly.
Okay, well said. Yes, thank you for that. Okay, now before I move on to another issue, there's something I want to mention with the use of robotics, and in Western countries like in Europe and North America, they are already using artificial intelligence robotics to actually to pack goods in the warehouse and also to manage inventory. And now in Nigeria, I know we have a lot of issues with our electricity, but I just want to get your thoughts on this. Now, what would you recommend for logistic companies in terms of artificial intelligence and robotics in terms of inventory management? Like, what would you recommend for them to do in this situation?
Okay, like I said earlier, whether we are ready or not, the change is coming. Artificial intelligence is coming. Technology is coming. Advancement is coming. So it is better for any organization to be on the friendly side of technology than to be in business and then and a competitor opens themselves to this technology, and they are wiping other companies out because they refused to adjust. We've seen companies, of course, we can't mention names, but we've seen companies who were thrown out because they refused to adapt to the changes that were coming. They were cleared, things that were built in over 40 years were gone in 3 years. Okay, that's how powerful technology can be. That's how powerful technology can be. So that's something to truly take note of. That's something to truly take note of. So I'd say that sorry about that. Yeah. So I'd say that when it comes to technology, we have to open ourselves up. We definitely have to open ourselves up. So they need to do that so that they are not thrown out of the business, and make sure you consult, open yourself up, know what is available in your space, and adapt. Last thing I'll say as touching this is one of the companies who is considered the foremost when it comes to this technology, when it comes to, logistics, one of the foremost companies. How they did it was they began to build people's expectation to expect products in hours, in a day. They began to shorten that period and even help people build an expectation for products to come in that quickly. And they didn't just do that, they built people's expectation to require the same thing from competitors. And immediately competitors could not meet that standard. Competitors were fizzled out automatically. So they became the foremost because they adapted to technological changes and used that adaptation and the results they got to force people to require the same thing from other organizations. And you'd hear questions like, why can't you deliver so time? This particular company does the same thing, and that's all. You've lost that customer. So we need to open ourselves up to this, make the changes required so that somebody doesn't appear one day and then your business is gone.
Okay, and looking at infrastructure, do we have all the right infrastructure in place for robotics to actually work with robotics technology here in Nigeria?
So I'd say the major thing we might be lacking or we might be talking about is power. And yes, we don't have it yet. But when you run an organization and checking the cost of fuel, the cost, the rising cost, it's not really very easy to do. This is why we have to open ourselves up to investing in alternate energy. Alternate energy. We need to invest in alternate energy so that we are not at the grip and at the hold of just what the nation has to provide. Advancement is required. As you would have noticed, I lost power for some seconds just now, but there's alternate technology, so it will switch in seconds and I'm back online. So imagine I had to depend on that power, or we start running around to get, the generator on. It just tells you have to find an alternate route. You are running a business, things will not always be convenient, but you have to position yourself in a way that, it just filters you from the crowd.
Okay, that's very true. Yes, and well, we don't really have enough time to talk about the different types of alternative energies, but yes, most business owners actually need that for their businesses. Now, what strategies can logistic providers use to ensure data accuracy and integrity?
Yes, data accuracy and integrity. One of the things they can do is if you control a platform, we're currently running a massive campaign, as you would know, with the government of one of the states in Nigeria to train over 10,000 youths in digital skills. And one of the things that happen in such situations is data keeps coming in. Now, when you have a platform, you optimize, okay? You optimize your platform so that you can control the quality of data coming in. You can trust the amount of data, you prove it, you test it, you subject it. You don't just accept it. There are data analytics. Open yourself up to data analytics, get data analysts, filter through, comb through data, and ensure that you get what is optimum and what is best. Many of these organizations don't even know the first thing about data, but data is so required because when orders are placed on the platform, they go through a particular system. If there's a system that receives those things and passes it to if something were to fail, a process were to fail, do you have a system that points out this is the department that failed? This person was supposed to get his goods in 12 hours. He has not gotten it in 6 days. who do we blame? Whose department failed us? Where did they monitoring and evaluation as a CEO, as the leader of an organization, as the management team, the quality assurance team, you should be sitting in front of data that points out everything to you. You don't need to call people every time to talk to them. Why? What happened? Who is this? Who is that? It just disrupts the entire process. You go to the banking sector, you notice that there's not a lot of noise, but billions are passing through the system because systems are put in place to ensure that without much noise and much communication, everything goes seamlessly and advancement comes, and these tools are adopted to ensure that the process is even better. It's the same thing for every industry. We must open ourselves up to what is not here and help us advance so that you are ahead of competitors.
Okay, that's very key. Thank you for that, Mr. Emmanuel. Now, we talked about the benefits of artificial intelligence in our logistics industry, but there's something that everybody keeps talking about, and that especially here in Nigeria, that is really affecting people in business, and that's cost now. So, how can AI-driven logistics reduce cost and improve efficiency? Let's start with that first.
Yeah, so like I said, this is one of the things that people do not like to hear because, of course, they want to retain their jobs. But like I said, it's coming. It's coming. There's nothing that can be done about it. So cost implication. Every business has a cost for running. Every business has a cost for running. And if some of these systems are going to make processes better and easier and also increase revenue for the company, uh, companies will naturally adopt it. I keep saying that value is the currency on which this world thrives. Okay. Everything is about value, the value you're offering to your company, the value your company is offering to you. There's always a transactional side, to all of these things. And if in any situation, you have a situation where this technology can help, naturally business owners will go for it when they find the information and they find the manpower to operate those things. Now, some of this technology, like I said, is very expensive, and in the long run you want to see how you can be profitable in the long run. You don't want to invest in the technology and it ends up bringing the business resources down. So when you check salaries that are going out, payments that are going out to staff and all of that, and you find a balance between that and the tools, the AI tools, you can then leverage the tools and, slowly you retrain staff for other positions, or eventually the system will force that they are laid off. And the business will continue because at the end of it, the business is in it to earn money, to make impact and to serve people better. So that's basically it.
Okay, and finally, before we round off on the program, now, will this lead to lower prices for consumers? Consumers that are buying online, will it lead to lower prices for them? Will it also lead to lower delivery charges for them also?
Okay, so there's a popular saying in Nigeria that the law of gravity doesn't apply to our economy. So when things go up, they don't come down. So considering the inflation rate and some of the things that are going on now, I don't companies are not very keen on reducing prices because they don't know the next policy that will come out and spring a surprise. So for pricing, I cannot fully say. But if we talk about the cost implication to the company itself, I truly can say that many of these things end up on the long run reducing costs because there's no need for the technology if it won't help the company save money and increase process value. Like I said, is the currency on which the world transacts. So when anybody's investing in any technology, artificial intelligence for logistics, for warehouse management and all of that, the end goal is so that costs of processes go down and the company can earn more. Now, for the end user, obviously, when these things happen, it should reflect in the price. And maybe it does in countries where prices are properly controlled. But in Nigeria, well, we hope, we can only hope that that also reflects for the end user.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel Odah, for joining us this morning on the program Market Insights as we talked about using artificial intelligence to improve our logistics services. It was really great talking with you this morning and for sharing your thoughts on this, your advice and recommendations on this new technology. Many thanks for joining us this morning, and we do hope you can join us again on the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now let's look at the money markets this morning, dollars, pounds, and the euro. We're looking at the official Central Bank of Nigeria rates and the parallel markets rates. So for today, Thursday, 19th September, at the CBN rates, the dollar is currently selling at 1,678 naira to $1. At the parallel market rate, is selling for 1,660 naira to $1. And the CBN rates are higher than the parallel market rates. That's for the dollars. Now let's look at the pound sterling. At the CBN rate is selling for 2,257 naira to £1 sterling. At the parallel market rate, it is selling for 2,220 naira to £1 sterling. So the CBN figures are also higher than the parallel market rate in the for the pound sterling. And for the euro, it's at the CBN rate is selling for 1,904 naira to €1. At the parallel market rate, it is selling for 1,840 naira to €1. And the same thing for the euro. So just like yesterday and today, Thursday, the central bank figures were higher than the parallel market figures. So those are our money market figures for today, Thursday, 19th September. Thank you so much for watching the program Market Insights, as the guest and I were able to discuss these issues affecting our logistics industry and how we can use artificial intelligence to solve these issues. So many thanks for watching the program. Do stay tuned to the news updates on Souk News Television. I am your host, Lovina Emma.